Konnichiwa, hajimashite, kunioji desu, and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. Now, you guys noticed that my video capture device screen is enlarged here because I'll be doing a short shout out to a very close friend of mine before I start over doing the commentary. So, first off, a shout out to my very nice friend, close friend, Carlos, because he managed to actually find me a crown jewel, and he knows that I was going to like it for my birthday. He managed to find this one for me. Absolutely amazing. Now I really couldn't wait to get back into modeling, so he found a Centurion for me. I asked him if he could be able to find one for me, so he found this, and pretty much I'm absolutely impressed that he managed to find an IDF shot cal Centurion, although this was the Mark V and Mark V/1 from the 1960s, which only had the 20-pounder Type B barrel, although the box came with the 105mm gun, so I can probably turn into a shot cal, which is basically the best Centurion, and as you can see, it's similar to the Centurion in my garage. And also, he managed to also get me this. Absolutely it's a Senna Kashiwazaki figure, my mistake. And basically, she looks absolutely fantastic. Rather very cheap. There you go, guys. I don't really know if you guys can see because of the lining here and the lamp. The bulb on my room here is apparently busted, so I really couldn't light it up too much. But here she is, Senna Kashiwazaki, a legitimate figure. And don't worry, guys, this isn't Class A. It's a 100% full legitimate figure. So anyway, Carlos, thank you so much, man, and absolutely thank you so much for this. I absolutely knew that you knew that I was actually a Centurion fan. Well, basically, I am a very big Centurion fan. So pretty much, I'm absolutely grateful that he managed to find me that figure. So anyway, let's go into the commentary video. So here we are, and we are watching once again Derber Fryer in his Batchat 25T, and unfortunately he told me that his engine was apparently the stock engine, which means that he could probably be crippled a little bit here. It doesn't have the same mobility. So he's playing in a Batchat 25T AP. Of course, it's a French tank, which means it has an autoloader, which is very well known in French tanks mostly. Although I haven't really been investing in researching the French line. So pretty much he's playing his Batchat. Probably he could have done some scouting there, and I absolutely like the way that he managed to be able to do some decent scouting there, and probably hopefully decent scouting. And there he goes. He spots the T-54 and rushes onto him. He needs to expel his whole clip before he can retreat. Unfortunately, he takes a shot. He needs to fall back, and he's lured the T-54 onto his allies, and unfortunately he takes another shot. Now pretty much, I'd like to say thank you again to Derber Fryer for sending me another replay. He was the one who was featured in playing the T-44, and I'm quite surprised that he actually managed to send another replay. I'm absolutely grateful, so thank you very much. So here he is. He's capturing base A. Now, one thing to note about the French tanks is that it's not a very easy tank line to play, in all honesty, because number one, the heavies are very large. They have quite a weak armor. They've got paper armor. Basically, essentially, you can just spam HE in almost anywhere. The sides and the rear, but frontally, not really, not so much. And pretty much, And pretty much for the mediums, they've got paper armor. They may be fast, but I obviously wouldn't really recommend this for beginners. Now, the only thing that makes the French stand out is the speed, and of course the autoloader. At least in my opinion and in my experience, because basically I've already played the French tanks in World of Tanks PC, and I went to the French heavies. I've already finished the grind for the French heavies, the AMX 50B, and pretty much I had a very good experience with that tank. I absolutely loved it. They're mostly support tanks. They cannot be in frontline tanks unless you're using the French heavies, which is basically the second line for the PC, and I do hopefully would be interested in getting them up over here in Blitz. And apparently one of the events right now is that they're selling the AMX M449 onto the premium shop right now. I don't know if I could be able to grab one myself, but unfortunately I don't really have the money to try to get it because I'm investing it for something else. So here he is. He's got to finish this IS-6, and he does. That IS-6 made a mistake. Absolutely amazing, and now he needs to go flank. So basically, the tactic for French tanks like these are to just flank, flank, and flank, reposition after you've already clipped, and then just run away. You really can't stay on one spot because you'll get rushed and pretty much get finished already. And I like the way how he's playing the bat chat right here, even though he's got a very crippled engine, or rather the stock engine. So here he is. Most of his team has already finished up the rest, and now he needs to fully reload before this VK could kill his ally could kill him, which would give him eventually a Radley Walters for 5 kills. So that was quite an absolutely amazing of a round there. He was able to showcase the way of how you're supposed to be able to use the French tanks and always have to relocate. You shouldn't really go frontally with this. Although there was one thing that I didn't really appreciate, and that was the fact that he faced a T-54 frontally. Although if you could be able to although I wouldn't deny that it's a lot better to actually be able to put some shots and deal damage than staying in the back at all. But as much as possible, try to really avoid getting hit. You can't really risk yourself of getting hit, especially when you're a tank such as the French tanks or any other paper armored tanks. So let's go take a look at the after game stats and see how much the Berfryer has done. So here was the stats of the Berfryer, and sorry about the phone. Here's the stats of the Berfryer. He managed to pick up an ace tanker on a busted engine, or rather a stock engine. He picked up a Radley's and a Top Gun for scoring 5 kills. He dealt 3,393 damage, and very much the highest for his team, although the T-34 may be catching up. So anyway, my suggestion is that as much as possible, try to really get yourself in a position where you can be able to spot, then run away, and then find a way to be able to put some shots onto their sides or rear. And basically that's how I could describe the playstyle of French tanks very much. They shouldn't be played frontally on the front lines because their armor is absolutely abysmal unless you are playing in the second line of French heavies or the AMX M449, which is basically on the PC, but I hope which would actually be able to get here on Blitz. So Der Befreier, thank you very much for sending in another replay, and I absolutely appreciate it. Well done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if it was, please consider giving a like down below, subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below of what you think of the French mediums and as well as the rest of the French lines. Now personally, I'm not really a big fan of the French tanks, but I'm really interested in giving them a try someday, hopefully as soon as I am able to finish my grind on the Chinese heavies. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. You've all been awesome, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video and in the battlefield.